and welcome to ChangeTube. Today it is time to focus on managing the project participants and the resistance you might be facing. So far, you have seen the key tools necessary to develop a change project. Now you know what change management is, why and how to manage it. Change diagnosis, workshops, impact study, communication plan and training plan have no more secrets for you. As always, I recommend you to take some notes to keep up. Let's go! Change forces us to exchange a familiar reality with an uncertain future. Therefore, it can be quite scary. Depending on one's aspirations, habits and personality, a change project can generate different forms of resistance that you must detect and deal with so that the project is not affected negatively. These resistances are more or less visible and can be contained in the company's value system or coming from isolated individuals. Most of the time, such value systems are not formalized in a document but simply perceived through conversations, certain practices, a set of codes, and implicit rules. In 1997, Johnson and Scholes developed a tool, cultural web model, according to which this cultural construct is composed of 7 elements: routines, myths, symbols, power structure, organizational structures, control systems, and paradigm. This tool is relevant for being able to adapt the style of change management according to the value system of the company. To do this, notions of routines, myths, and symbols on the one side are separated from power structures as well as organizational and control system on the other side. If the value system depends largely on the first category, a collaborative and educational style of change management is applied. In the opposite case, your change management style will be more directive and interventionist. What makes us accept change is its rationalization, in other words, a projection in time and potential gain. This is a key pattern in change management called the Valley of Desperation. Although a loss of productivity is inevitable, change management plays a crucial role here and helps to minimize the gap, which would be much more critical without it. Statistically, at the beginning of a change project, about 80% of actors are passive, 10% proactive, and 10% opposed. Of course, this is not an absolute categorization, and there are much more nuances in reality. Take this as methodological guidelines. Observe the actors in the project and report the behaviors or positions identified in the stakeholder mapping seen in a previous video. This will give you an overview of the acceptance of the project and will help you set up actions to convince as many people as possible to commit. You can also use a behavioral survey to understand resistance to the project in more detail. After observing and identifying the positions of the people involved, you can ask them to propose solutions and initiate a dialogue in order to reach a common place of understanding. Set up a change barometer in order to evaluate both quantitatively and qualitatively the evolution of support for the project and thereby determine the key elements that consolidate those who resist the project. Highlight the power dynamics between the different actors as well as the taboos or conflicts that appear. The gathering of this information is very important to set up communication, actions, or workshops that are well targeted. Remember that the human dimension is essential in a change project. Behaviors should not be underestimated but treated as a key factor for the success of the change. Before closing this video, tell me in the comments, have you ever conducted a behavioral analysis during a change project? How do you manage resistance to change? Now it's up to you. Thank you for watching, and let's change together. Bye bye!